Maybe. I wasn't sure. It was a really good contest. And at one point in that fight, it was in the very first round, Werdum had thrown a punch. And the punch hit Travis Browne on a finger, and it dislocated. At best, it dislocated it. At worst, it compound fractured Travis's finger. So Travis goes, whoa, and he calls time, and he shows the ref, and he even held his hand up to show Werdum to say, hey, hold on a sec, timeout. And it worked. The referee stepped in and gave him a timeout. Now, the reason that becomes relevant, and I was so happy that Joe Rogan called it out. A lot of announcers would try to cover it up. Joe Rogan called it what it was, which is illegal. It's against the rules. You cannot call timeout in a contest because you're hurt. In this kind of a sport, that is the entire point. The guy is trying to create damage. He's trying to get you to where you go, hey, I have to stop. I can't go on. Now, generally speaking, that's on purpose. A guy purposely attacks your arm with a straight arm lock, a Kimura, a key lock, a technique that we know, identify, practice, and go out and implement. It doesn't change the rule that even if it happens to a finger inadvertently and on accident, it doesn't change the fact that it still happened and that Werdum was doing what he was supposed to be doing, which is trying to end a contest through damage to his opponent. So you cannot call timeout in MMA. It is not allowed, and there's very few refs that either, one, understand that rule, or two, when they're put in that spot, know how to handle it. Because you'll see some really great refs through time that end up in this same spot where they let it go, where they call the timeout and there's confusion and they resume the action. They get a little bit caught off guard there. And the ref would have had to deal with everybody booing and the promoters being mad at him, and they have to deal with all these different things had he stopped the contest right there. But it doesn't change the fact that the contest has to stop right there. And Matt Hughes was criticized over time, and accurately so. Every fight that Matt Hughes had, it was a string of bad luck, but he got poked in the eye. I mean, it was like three times in a row. It might have been 4 or 5 times in a row. It just kept happening to him. And Matt would call timeout. He would pull away and call timeout. And so many people go, well, yeah, but you're not allowed to eye poke. That's different than a finger. Well, not so fast. An eye poke is only an eye poke if called that by the referee. If the referee does not step in and call it an eye poke and call timeout, then it's not an eye poke. The referee has to see it and call it. If he doesn't, then it's just the athlete saying, I'm hurt and I need time, which does not exist in MMA. It means the contest comes to a conclusion. It's over. So that's what happened there. And I feel the same way that, in fairness, we need to make sure that we do right by Reem. Reem did not lie. Reem was wrong. He was wrong. Stipe did not tap. The replay showed that, but he wasn't lying. He just thought that's what happened. He'd just been knocked out. We also have to give that same consideration to Werdum. To an untrained eye, it could have looked unsportsmanlike by Werdum. Now, Rogan was very fair to him and said to him, you were well within your rights to do what you did. Rogan is right, and so is Werdum. And Browne will tell you that too. Travis Browne knows the rules.